What would drive two privileged young men to take a step that would change their lives and shock the entire country? This is the full story of Lyle and Eric Menendez, a case that captured the attention of America in the early 90s and continues to raise difficult questions today. And Kitty Menendez were the epitome of the American dream. A powerful entertainment executive and a devoted, elegant mother. They seemed to have it all. Their Beverly Hills mansion was a testament to their success, surrounded by luxury and opportunity. But behind closed doors, a different reality was unfolding. Lyle and Eric, just 21 and 18 at the time, were living under a cloud of intense pressure. Their father was known for his strict and controlling nature, pushing his sons to excel at any cost. The brothers would later reveal the emotional toll this took on them, speaking of years of mental anguish and hidden pain that simmered beneath their polished exterior. On a warm August night in 1989, the facade of perfection shattered. An emergency call echoed through the quiet streets of Beverly Hills, bringing police to the Menendez residence. The scene that greeted them was horrific. Lyle, his voice shaking, told the 911 operator that someone had hurt their parents. The once pristine home was now a crime scene, leaving investigators scrambling for answers. Initially, the police suspected a break-in gone wrong. But as days turned into weeks, suspicions began to grow. The brothers' behavior raised eyebrows as they embarked on an unprecedented spending spree. Luxury cars, expensive watches, and even business investments became part of their new lifestyle. The contrast between their apparent grief and their lavish purchases was stark, prompting investigators to dig deeper. Then came the breakthrough that would turn the case on its head. Eric, burdened by the weight of their actions, confided in his therapist. Little did he know that these sessions would become the key to unraveling the mystery. In March 1990, both brothers were brought in for questioning. The story that had captivated a nation was about to explode into a media frenzy. The first trial, televised across America in 1993, became a national obsession. Lyle and Eric took the stand, their testimony a raw and emotional account of years of alleged abuse and trauma. They claimed their actions were born out of fear and desperation, a last resort to escape a life of torment. Their words resonated with some who saw them as victims of circumstances beyond their control. Others remained skeptical, viewing their story as a calculated attempt to avoid justice. The nation watched, riveted, as the trial unfolded. But when it came time for a verdict, the jury found themselves at an impasse. The complex nature of the case, with its layers of family dysfunction and alleged abuse, proved too difficult to reach a unanimous decision. A mistrial was declared, leaving the country in suspense. In 1995, a second trial began. This time the rules had changed. Restrictions were placed on what the brothers could reveal about their past, limiting their ability to paint a full picture of their home life. The prosecution focused on the brutal nature of the crime and the brothers' subsequent behavior. In 1996, after months of testimony and deliberation, both Lyle and Eric were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The verdict split public opinion. Some felt justice had been served, that the brothers' actions were too heinous to justify, regardless of their upbringing. Others saw the sentence as a failure of the system to recognize the impact of long-term abuse and trauma. The case raised uncomfortable questions about family dynamics, mental health, and the limits of self-defense. For over 2 decades, Lyle and Eric lived separate lives behind bars, their story fading from the headlines but never from the public consciousness. Then, in 2018, an unexpected development brought their names back into the spotlight. The brothers were reunited, transferred to the same correctional facility in California. Today, they share the same unit, participating in group activities together. A twist of fate that few could have predicted. As social media platforms have given rise to a new generation of true crime enthusiasts, the Menendez case has found a fresh audience. Millions of young people are discovering their story for the first time, viewing it through the lens of modern discussions about mental health, abuse, and trauma. The questions that swirled around the case in the 90s have resurfaced with new urgency. Were Lyle and Eric victims of their own home, pushed to the brink by years of hidden abuse? Or were they the calculated architects of a tragic plan driven by greed and a desire for independence? The passage of time has not dulled the impact of the Menendez case. If anything, it has deepened the complexity of the questions it raises. In an era where society's understanding of trauma and its effects has evolved, many wonder if their case were judged today, would the outcome be different? Would advances in psychology and a greater awareness of familial abuse lead to a different verdict? The story of Lyle and Eric Menendez continues to challenge our perceptions of justice, family, and the long-lasting impact of childhood trauma. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the potential for darkness within even the most seemingly perfect homes. As the brothers serve out their sentences, their case remains a touchstone for discussions about the intersection of crime, psychology, and societal expectations. The luxury of their former life in Beverly Hills stands in stark contrast to their current reality. Yet their story continues to resonate, a cautionary tale that speaks to the complexities of human nature and the sometimes blurry line between victim and perpetrator. It reminds us that behind closed doors, even in the most affluent neighborhoods, hidden struggles can lead to unthinkable consequences. As we look back on this shocking American tragedy, we're left to grapple with difficult questions. Do Lyle and Eric Menendez deserve a second chance at life outside prison walls? Or was justice served with their life sentences? The debate continues, with passionate arguments on both sides. What do you think? Were the Menendez brothers victims of circumstances beyond their control, deserving of empathy and possibly a reevaluation of their case? Or did they receive a just punishment for an unforgivable act? The story of Lyle and Eric Menendez remains a powerful reminder that sometimes the truth is far more complex than it first appears. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This case continues to challenge our understanding of justice, family dynamics, and the long-term effects of trauma. Society evolves. So too does our perspective on cases like this. The conversation is far from over.
Subscribe for a mind rush.